These are slipstones. They're used to either create a bevel on the inside, which is how I like to carve, that's the shape of my tools, or just to remove a wire edge. You can see that the shape, and this is the most common form you can buy, the shape is somewhat teardrop, so it's thicker here on this edge and thin on this edge. It's a very common shape, and they come in different grits. You'll find very coarse grits made from carborundum, and you'll find very fine grits such as this. This is a translucent Arkansas stone, and then you have various grits in grades in between. And for us as carvers, we need to do two things. We need to shape our gouges when we're sharpening them, and for this we use coarse benchstones on the outside. This would be a coarse benchstone, and for the bevel on the inside, at this stage we would use a coarse slipstone. So this stone matches the benchstone. Then when we've got the main shape done, we switch to the finishing stone. This is a translucent Arkansas, and we use that on the outside bevel, the benchstone, and then we match it with a translucent stone on the inside. So when you're buying these stones, you'll find these different grits, and something like this, which is mottled and white, like that, that's not the same as this translucent stone. So this is somewhat in between the coarse stones, the carborundum stones, and the very fine stones. So useful, but not really, you know, the best option is to have one of each at these extremes, really, coarse and fine. You can also find them in this smaller size, these sort of sizes, because of course you have narrower tools and these stones just won't fit, so you do need narrower stones. And one of the problems we have with these stones is that you end up buying one shape, but you have all sorts of different shaped gouges, and what you want is this surface to fit as closely to that surface as possible, and that gives you the most efficient cut. So there is a video on this site modifying slipstones, so do bear those in mind. That's the sort of thing you need to do. You need to gather a collection of stones, and the more you sharpen, the more you get into carving, the more you'll know what stones you need, and you'll find you'll be able to modify stones to fit all your different tools. There is one other thing I would like to add, because in a way there's not much more to say about slipstones, and that is to look at something like this. I've seen these on the market. These are marketed as diamond files, and they have a round surface like this and their flat surface on the other. And this is an interesting idea because you can use these on quite flat and large tools by having this fixed on the bench like this and actually rubbing the tool like so. So here's a larger one, larger tool, larger flatter tool, and you can rub the tool like this upside down and see with just water or clear fluid on the stone, on the diamond here, you can see where you're rubbing. So you can actually use something like this for larger, flatter tools. So that's the sort of thing to look out for. And I will just show you this little box here. This is a box of slipstones that goes right back from when I started, and just shows that I've gathered stones everywhere I can. You can't have too many, you can have too few, but you're sharpening the inside bevel, or you're creating an inside bevel, and you do need these slipstones of varying sorts to be able to do that.